This episode of the Blockbusters podcast is brought to you by Marcus Theaters at Crosswoods. And thank you to their owner and operator, Marco, for allowing us to use their name. And people, get there and check out the Dream Loungers. If you haven't already, if you're in the area, you got to go check them out. It's the best way to watch movies. And I am just never going to go to another theater if I can go to Marcus. So get there every Tuesdays, $5 movies all day, every day. And Thursdays, any movie, $5 with a valid student ID, and $5 matinees all week long. So go check out Marcus Crosswoods.
Welcome to the Blockbusters podcast, episode 34. I'm Paul.
And I'm Brian.
Today is the 9th of March 2014, and we have decided to do a little after Oscars retrospective, going over what we think of the winners in those categories from that fateful night. And
The Oscars were on?
yeah, I think so.
Okay. Damn, I feel ill-prepared.
And full disclosure here, since I no longer have cable, just Netflix and Hulu, I was unable to watch the Oscars live, although Brian was able to.
Seems like something you should do when you do have a podcast about movies.
Yes, I unfortunately had nowhere I could go to watch it.
Okay. He had nowhere else to go. Bringing it back to movies.
Oh, yeah. All right. And so what we're going to be doing is talking about our own feelings about most of the categories.
Mm-hmm. The ones people care about, let's be honest.
Yeah. I mean,
the bigger ones.
Yeah, neither of us have seen either of the
Sorry, foreign
shorts.
films.
Although I'm sure we'll bring up who won those ones. Neither of us have seen any of the short films, either live or animated, so we're
But I
unable
can guarantee
to
you none of them were better than the paper or whatever preceded Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh, yes.
Still the best short I've ever seen.
Paperman.
Paperman, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was a really good shot.
Yes. All right, let's just make it all about Paperman.
Yeah. This is the Paperman
I can do
podcast.
30 minutes on Paperman. All right.
Alright, so obviously we did our own little Oscars special with the Back to the Podcast people, so most people that have listened to that will know what our preferred ones were, but we will just go over that quickly when we come up to them.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to start with the big ones, or shall we work our way up to those?
Let's work our way up. Let's, kind of like the Oscars says, toss them a bone here and there.
Yeah.
You get the best supporting actor out of the way, and then it's an hour and a half of boring. Although we won't be an hour and a half of boring. We'll keep it about 20 minutes of boring.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Alright, well, let's kind of work our way up then.
Sure.
Toss
one out there.
Well, visual effects then.
Oh.
The winner of Best Visual Effects was Gravity.
What?
I know.
I'll say George Scott. Oh,
No, I know. I think they were a close second.
Okay.
And is anyone surprised?
No.
Yeah, I mean, granted, Pacific Rim was very good, but I don't think for flat-out visual effects use.
For changing, the way movies will be made.
Yeah,
that is,
Gravity definitely the right.
It'll be looked at as a pioneering film.
Yeah.
If not already. So,
very
very happy with that.
Yeah. Well, going up, I've got editing next. Again, Gravity won that. And I don't have too much to chime in on editing in films, really. I get the feeling
Seems like there was a very lazy editor giving the 18-minute shot.
Yeah, when it comes to editing in film, nowadays, unless you notice a mistake, editing is really getting good.
Well, the way I think about it is, it's not something you should really notice, I think, but
yeah,
much like really good visual effects, if they're there, if you notice them, then they're not good. But the editing there, all I can say is it's set up to be a boring movie. It's one person in space talking
my
to
wife
herself.
likes
But the way it was edited, you're always tense. Your heart rate is always up, and it's only going up.
Yeah,
so it must have been well edited.
I know you're really following this person.
You're not bored at any time, and then you always have that thought in the back of your head: there's going to be debris coming any moment. It's going to be here. Oh shit! There goes the ISS.
And the thing I did like about that film, actually going into it, was he points out that it's 90 minutes to go all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
And then you then realise they're going the other way. Like, so it's going to catch up with them quicker, but they don't seem to factor that in. It's just like, I've got 90 minutes, and then 90 minutes is almost up. Uh-oh. Onto the debris.
I was more worried about Sandra Bullock's hair. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I mean,
Totally took me out of it.
Alright. Costume. Great Gatsby. I am not shocked by that at all.
See, I think American Hustle should have won that.
Have you seen The Great Gatsby?
I have not.
Alright, okay.
Have you seen American Hustle?
I have not.
Aha! Touche.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm sure people that have seen American Hustle but not seen Gatsby will say American Hustle should have won. People that have seen Great Gatsby,
I will see Gatsby, and I still will find it very tough. I'm sure. I know Baz Luhrmann goes all out on costumes.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's not the designer, but has his designer go a lot. Like you see Moulin Rouge or Romeo and Juliet or Strictly Ballroom, like amazing in Strictly Ballroom. But American Hustle, to me, like I don't know that maybe it was just the cool factor of the '70s designs. Like the huge lapels on the men, and the bell bottoms or whatever. Like the tight jeans and the very sexy dresses and stuff. That's just was a great time. I thought great looks, but I don't know. Maybe that's why it didn't win because it just had the cool factor. I don't know.
I mean
but I thought they looked amazing.
The costume people should have won the Oscar specifically because apparently Jennifer Lawrence ruined almost every single costume she wore by eating too many Doritos and getting the dresses stained.
Really?
Yes.
Doritos. I did not think of her as a Dorito eater.
I know, but there you go.
Wow. Yeah, there you have it, folks. She's one of us.
Oh, yeah. But yeah,
I guess. All right. Anything else on costume?
No, I'll just say I fully support the Great Gatsby one.
I will, once I check that out, if an apology needs to be made, I will be more than happy to make it.
All right.
I will eat the crow. Eat some crow. All right.
All right, next up, we got Makeup and Hair was Dallas Buyers Club.
Absolutely.
All right. Yeah, this, again, for...
Apparently shoestring budget.
Yeah, supposedly really, really low budget, and I can only imagine that means that the actors themselves probably sorted out their own stuff. Because, like, even if you didn't spend that much on it, you're still going to have people that are there to do the hair and makeup. But they must, if they spent next to nothing on it, then they really must have tried to either do it themselves. I'm sure Jared Leto.
I'm sure the two principals, or McConaughey and Leto, I'm sure they got a lot of attention on set for the makeup. But I'm sure a lot of the extras or secondary people might have done it the right. I've watched documentaries where they do their own, and then the makeup person just checks them, makes minor adjustments or whatever, or says, "Okay, you're good for camera" or whatever. But like I was telling Paul before we started recording, I know McConaughey lost a ton of weight, but also in his close-ups, he just looks so sickly and ill. And I know you haven't seen the film yet, but you will notice that like throughout like.
I would say even just from
it's
the front
heartbreaking
cover.
just to see him walk in a room and just see him almost just the clothes hanging off him, and then just see the color in his cheeks gone. And so it was for what they were able to do, it was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm planning on seeing it within the week. I just don't know exactly when I'll have the time for it. But yeah, even just looking at the front cover of the DVD, it's amazing to think, wow, that is Matthew McConaughey.
And he's still, if you saw any of the Oscar coverage record, he's still not back up to his like normal weight.
Oh no, it'll probably take you a while.
Yeah, he needs to be eating some Doritos.
Get him together with Jennifer Lawrence. Fine. Cinematography. Take a wild guess.
Gravity?
Yes!
Hey! Wasn't so wild, but...
Yes. As you can tell at this point, it really is most of the technical ones are going to Gravity for very good reason. I mean, as we said, it was a film that kind of like Avatar, where in Avatar they invented new technology just so they could shoot it. And in this, I don't know if they invented new technology, but they were definitely using modern technology in new ways to get this stuff the way it looks. And it's always fun to see films pushing the boundaries like that, even if it doesn't do so well, which Gravity did do very well.
I'm always willing to applaud, even if it does work out, there's films that take a chance, or I mean, this could have been a financial flop.
Yeah,
You're like,
really
okay, two pretty boy Hollywood actor, and then romance comedy queen, out in space, blah blah blah. It could have really gone nowhere.
Yeah,
and the fact that everyone was drawn to it,
yeah.
I don't.
You're not drawing that out, are you?
I did have a tweet about that. Like, a lot of the voters seem to really be drawn to this film. But I forget what point I was trying to make, but I'm sure it was valid.
Right, very valid. Yeah, it's good to see it. It's kind of like Avatar could have been an actual flop in terms of budget, because it was an estimated $500 million to make that film, and then obviously they made $2 billion.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Got it back now. Where films are taking a chance, they're trying new methods like that. I love the film Rocky. It's probably one of my top 5 all time.
Right.
And very low budget film. Unknown actor, unknown writer who wrote Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
And that was the first film that used Steadicam.
Really?
The cinematographer designed this thing, and there's specials on the Blu-ray set and stuff, and like how he and his wife at the time tested it, and she was actually running up the steps before that was ever in the script,
right?
Or anything.
Just as a test of the camera.
Yeah, just running up, and so he track it along and track it back, and that was. Then he got a patent for that and license, and that was the first film. And so I just love, if not for Rocky, if not for Gravity, if not for Avatar, however you feel about those films, they're changing what you're seeing.
Yeah, I did not know that the Steadicam came from Rocky. Mm-hmm. I may not like the film myself. But
Brown, I forget, Garrett or George? I don't know. I could look it up easily, but I don't need to waste our time on that.
No, yeah.
Correct me, corrections department, if I'm way off on that, but I believe that is the case.
Always happy to come across films that bring you new stuff then. Mm-hmm. So
and well deserving of the best picture, I think, for a very low budget film that just snowballed. All right, what do we got next?
Next I had production design, just another small. That one was Great Gatsby. Which,
I'm sure that sounds about right. I don't know the other nominees. I'm sure you have Tussle in there.
I mean, even just looking at the trailer for that film and the amount of detail that was in it, and just the style you saw in the film, I'm not surprised that Great Gatsby got that one. Again, haven't seen American Hustle, so can't comment on that.
All right. Next.
All right. We'll put the next two sound ones together. Sound editing and sound mixing. That went to Gravity as well. Mm-hmm. And if you think about it, most people will probably say, well, how could that go to them? There's no sound in it. Outside of the talking and the breathing, there doesn't seem to be that much sound in it. Mainly because you're in the vacuum of space and there's not a lot of sound out there.
No.
But I do think they did very well at being able to portray that. I'm sure they actually put... You can even.
I'm so happy there wasn't when you see the debris crash into the station and stuff. I'm so happy there wasn't a.
Yeah.
That if Michael Bay had directed this, yes.
Then, the debris would have been exploding on its way to them as well.
And then Optimus Prime would have caught a piece of debris and protected Sandra Bullock.
Yeah,
it would have been amazing, right, everybody? But no, I did like that. It's just silent, and you just watch this debris just twirling around 225,000 miles an hour, whatever it is. Yeah. And then the sound kicks in, right when she gets in the airlock or something. That's, it's for what I understand, is good sound editing.
It's one of those things where, actually, in Pacific Rim as well, when they're in space, there is no sound out when you're seeing the wide shot.
Yeah.
Short of, I think, some music, but there's no actual noise.
Yeah, that's not taking place in the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's there for our benefit.
Yeah, so it's one of those ones where I think filmmakers are taking note of the fact that in space there's no noise.
No one can hear you scream or do anything else.
Yeah. No one can hear, period. There's nothing.
What? There's a lot of what going on. It's just an old folks home.
Yeah.
What?
What? What's that?
Who? Jimmy's boy? No. Okay.
What's that, Jimmy? Alright, so next one I had written down was Best Original Song. and I said to Brian before this, I have no idea why this is a category. I don't get it.
So 3 6 Mafia can say they have an Oscar. That is why this is a category. Because this is the only way they could ever get an Oscar.
Yeah,
and they did.
I understand that.
What was that?
Actually, it was Let It Go.
Hustle and Flow, I think. Yeah. Okay, yeah, Let It
So,
Go.
yeah, Let It
I
Go
think that's
in
what they
Frozen.
should do with this category. Let it go.
Yeah, and I understand adding categories because I'm sure back when they put this category in, it was when songs were actually specifically being written for cinema and it was a new and budding thing. But now it feels like any musical that comes out in a year is going to end up just put in this category because there's almost always a new song. So I don't understand why it doesn't shift to say not the MTV Music Award maybe, but all of those music awards, I think they should assimilate the film category, because with the Oscars it's really just trying to bring you the best thing in film, and I don't personally think that songs in film, even songs written for film, are necessarily that important compared to achievements in sound editing and stuff like that.
Or just the score.
Yeah.
Overall. The score overall is meant, like, I think I've mentioned in another podcast, Tarantino in my mind does it the best. The way he
doesn't
drives your mood through a film using the score and using songs.
But doesn't he like to come up with the songs for the film before he comes out with most
that's
of them?
that's how he writes. Songs in the margin, and he will get that song or he will scrap the film. But just to pick out one song to me seems odd.
Yeah, maybe best soundtrack. You got best score, then maybe best soundtrack.
Yeah, for the films that don't have orchestration or whatever,
Yeah, so go for the films that have used the songs in it the best, rather than have written the best song. Which
can we retroactively go and give Kenny Loggins one for Caddyshack,
Sure.
which we might get into in a future podcast? Yes.
Yeah, sure. Let's
Because
do
he
that.
did the whole soundtrack. In the 80s, he popped up on many a soundtrack, but that was the entire soundtrack. Kenny Loggins.
Oh,
yes.
Yes, Archer's favourite song.
But I will say, without best song, it would be really hard to have any EGOT winners. Which do you know there was a new EGOT winner this year?
I did not. Which one?
Which one was that? That was Robert Lopez, director, screenwriter.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, he won this year. I forget for what, but yes. If you're not familiar, EGOT is a winner of the Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. So there have been many a winner. Whoopi Goldberg, Audrey Hepburn, Mike
true.
Nichols, Mel Brooks.
Well,
Mel Brooks has an EGOT.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Good for him.
Which is a non-existent award, but he
Yeah.
has one. I'm sure they make one and sell them to them for $1,000.
Okay,
whatever.
Given their newest foray, I really want Trey Parker and Matt Stone to get one then. They've got to come up with another film to get some of those things. But yeah, as I was saying, I really do feel that the original song should be changed to, as we said, either best soundtrack or moved into just the music side of things, taken out of the actual Oscars. Nothing against the people that win the Oscars for these, I just don't think it's the right place for it.
Yeah, like Phil Collins, love you, Phil Collins, but I know he either won for that Tarzan one or was nominated, but I'm like, Phil Collins doesn't need an Oscar.
Yeah.
But, okay.
All he needs is a set of drums to
All right, moving along, let's let that go.
Well, let's go into best score. Well, there we go. Gravity again.
Gravity.
Yes.
I'm sensing a trend.
Yeah, as we said, not a huge amount of sound or music in the film.
But when it's there, it's used very well.
Yeah, it is some of the best use of music I have ever seen.
It is used to, make you tense, to, give you false hopes. It's like, it really drives what's going on the screen.
Yeah, and as you can probably tell, there's not much bad we can say about that film. It was definitely our favourite film of the last year.
Absolutely, yeah. And I have bought it digitally and since watched it twice.
Right.
Like, just digitally just to watch it. And even fell asleep watching it on my phone the other night. I'm like, I'm just going to start off like, it's going to look horrible on my phone. Nope. It's just small.
Yeah.
It's just smaller.
It's
it
a
still
smaller
looks
version.
amazing. You just hold your face up there. It's all relative.
Yeah. just pretend that you're watching it from really far away.
Exactly. Like you're trying to see a drive-in for free. From way
Either that or
binoculars.
You're actually on the Hubble Space Telescope, like trying to watch this happening.
There we go. Mm-hmm.
All right, next one I had written down was Best Animated, which went to Frozen.
Oh, of course. I mean, they throw a bone to these, smaller productions or whatever.
Disney.
But it's your win is getting nominated. Everyone knows it's going to either Disney or Pixar.
Yeah, I would say I saw Frozen, and this film coming from because this is now part of the same Disney section as Snow White, as Aladdin. Like that's the studio this came out of. This is now my favorite Disney film from that ilk. I will say that The Emperor's New Groove, which is from Disney, but I don't know if it's the exact studio, is still my favorite Disney overall. Just because I think that film was the right time for me and all that stuff. But yeah, this film is really good. I am not shocked in the slightest.
Yeah, you have to check it out, but I've watched the trailer multiple times and the animation looks amazing. But
great
it looks
animation.
ultra realistic and
really good animation. The story isn't
it is a musical, isn't it?
It technically is a
musical. Which I know how you feel about musicals, which is why I find that slightly odd.
I mean, well, that's the thing. As you go into it, a lot of your Disney films are musicals. Lion King, Aladdin, all that. They are all musicals. And I was never really a fan of
them. But they aren't really, I mean, they're musicals for animated films, but they aren't, if you watch, like, Les Miserables or something, they aren't as song-heavy as...
No, they're not.
There's, I would say, a majority of talking, whereas a true musical has a majority of song.
Yeah.
And then there's some lines of dialogue, and then it launches into a new song. This, it seems the song is there to really serve a purpose, like Hakuna Matata.
Yeah.
Or, like, whatever, like, there's... really delivering a message there, and then there's another 15 minutes of dialogue, and then another song.
Yeah, well, this is the way it works. Is the way most Disney films work. Is that at the beginning there's a few songs, and then as the film goes on, the songs are fewer and far between, and the songs are there as almost your alternative storytelling method. So it's still getting the point across. They have just chosen to do it with song. Yeah. And in this film, it's really good because it seems no longer to be, the princess needs to be saved by a man or all this stuff. It's going completely against type. There's even one character in it which you had to really kind of catch it.
Don't say too much. All right. All right.
Okay,
I will check it out very soon. So.
Well, I will just say that in this film is a gay character. See if you can figure out who it is. You'll probably miss it.
Smithers.
Yes, Smithers is in there.
He just pops up in the background. All right.
The next two are for writing. You've got original screenplay, and then you've got adapted screenplay. Yeah. Adapted screenplay was 12 Years a Slave, and original was Her. See? I completely agree with Her.
I was rooting for Woody Allen, having not even seen Blue Jasmine yet, but I don't know, Woody Allen's just one of my all-time favorites, so I'm always rooting for him.
Well, yeah, and I completely
and the fact that he just is like, fuck you to the awards, like never even shows up, like doesn't care, like probably that's also parts of me like wants him to win, so they can have on his behalf, you know? But. So
probably half the reason
you said you completely agree with Her. So
fantastically written film. That one. It is.
I'm sure it is.
It is all dependent on the dialogue because one of the characters is just audio. Like, there's nothing else there.
Yeah. That was Joaquin, right? Just audio.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was.
I think all right.
And then obviously the adapted 12 Years a Slave, and yes, I'm still yet to see this film.
It's just, I needed to see it right when it came out because once it had been out for a week and then 2 weeks, everyone was like, it is really great, but it is amazing, but. Yeah. And that but you're going to want to go home and kill yourself. Like it is super bummer.
Right.
As you might imagine, a movie about slavery, one of the worst things you can ever do to another human being, if not the worst. Yeah.
It's one of those really tricky things as well.
And for someone that wasn't even a slave, like, was shanghaied into slavery. That is like the story of the film. Like,
yeah, I hear based on that it is a black man who was free, who was then made a slave for 12 years.
Yeah, just about. Yeah.
And the story of everything that happened to him there.
But I will watch it. I'm just gonna have something really goofy lined up afterwards, an Austin Powers film or or Simon Pegg picture. Yeah,
maybe I'll give you back the world's end by the time you do that.
Yeah, or just something mindless fun like Pacific Rim. Take your mind off of the atrocities.
Definitely
the
Pacific
humans.
Rim.
Yeah. So.
Or, depending on when you watch it, maybe Godzilla.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Just saying that's one I have to gear myself up for.
Right.
But,
Alright, next one we had is supporting actress. And I have no idea how to pronounce his name.
Good luck to you. I'm going to let you tackle that one.
I'll say Lupita, I'm guessing.
Lupita. Let's just let it at Lupita.
Nyong'o.
Lupita.
It's probably one of those. I'm sure it's like the apostrophe adds everything to like Nyong'o or something like that. But yeah,
she was for 12 years a slave.
Yeah, 12 years a slave, and again, unfortunately, I can't comment on that, and I don't have an alternative. So
I would have. Having not seen 12 Years a Slave, I kind of wanted the old lady from August Osage County. I think was that it? I think Nebraska. No, it was Nebraska. She was, nominated for Nebraska. She's like 84 years old or something.
Right.
Nominated like unknown. I was like, oh, it'd be nice if the little old lady won.
Yeah.
Or Jennifer Lawrence in American Hustle. Like, not that she needs another Oscar back-to-back years, but I kind of wanted to see her fall again.
Maybe that's why she didn't win. They didn't want her to trip over
again.
again.
I need her to trip again.
Although I do believe there is footage of her falling over on the red carpet.
Well, no, she tripped on a parking cone getting out of the car.
Oh, that was
or
it.
Whatever, yes. And Ellen did say something about like if she would bring the Oscar to her, or something like that. Like, can I bring it to you? Yeah. But I thought I would have liked to see her win or the old lady. But I think this is a great choice. Like, she was super excited. Obviously, like, first time nominee wins.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often, does it?
Just, an amazing night for her, even if she doesn't go on to have a huge career in the business.
Yeah, she got herself an Oscar for...
Yeah, and like you see, like in that tweet that Ellen tried to crash Twitter with,
she did.
Ultimate, ultimate selfie, you see she's in the background and like her brother's just mugging up front, But so that's awesome for them. But,
and, jumping into that very quickly, the Kevin Spacey at the back of that.
Oh, yeah. He totally looks like he photobombed that.
Yeah. He actually stated that he was trying to photobomb, and that was how that worked out.
Oh, he wasn't just trying to get his head in? That's last second, yeah.
Yeah, the second I brought it up, I was like, that's Kevin Spacey? Mm-hmm. All right, then.
Dean King.
Right. I even put a little thing on Twitter, like reposting his thing, talking about I managed to photobomb, and I was like, ladies and gentlemen, Frank Underwood. Always trying to get in the limelight, that man.
People in my pocket. Yeah. All right.
So supporting actor Jared Leto for Dallas Buyers Club.
Absolutely, 100% agree.
Yeah, and I don't have anything that
second choice. I would have liked to seen Jonah. I guess that'd be my second choice. Yeah. Jonah Hill.
Then I would say that he did well. Did very well.
But what Jared Leto was able to do, just I mean.
Well, as you were telling me that you just did not know.
Yeah, I like, seriously, I knew going in, like, in the back of my head, okay, Jared Leto's in this movie. I've heard, top 2 billing, Matthew McConaughey, Jared Leto, whatever. And I kept waiting for him to show up and waiting for him to show up. And then credits roll, and I'm like, Jared Leto. Holy shit. He was the tranny. I'm like, that's just absolutely, I can't think of a higher compliment. The only thing similar was... not on par with the performance, but as far as just not recognizing, was Eric Bana in the first Star Trek film.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I did not realize that was Eric Bana until I, looked it up. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
What's his name? Nero or whatever?
Yeah, Nero, yeah.
Yeah. But
I recognized it was him, but that's just because I used to own the DVD of the first Hulk film.
You needed that coasters that bad, did you?
Well, I didn't hate it. I didn't think it was that good. I also didn't think it was that close at all to the actual story of Hulk, but I didn't think it was as terrible as everyone else seemed to think it is.
Yes, let's move on from that before a blood vessel pops in my head.
Alright.
So that was supporting actor.
That was. Now moving into actress. You got Kate Blanchett for Blue Jasmine.
Also not seen.
Yeah, that's the
But she happens to just turn in very great performances year in, year out.
Yeah,
you know? She is the Meryl Streep of her day.
Yeah, she's always up for an Oscar.
Exactly.
Law of averages states she's going to get them.
She will be the Meryl Streep. You know, she's gonna have like 20 nominations and 6 Oscars or something. But when it's all done, but I forget the other nominees. I know. Amy Adams. I did want to. That would have been my choice.
Yeah.
Having loved American Hustle and she was awesome.
Yeah, Sandra Bullock, I believe.
Sandra Bullock, yeah. But I know that was our choice in our version, but, you know, that was also people that was agreed upon with the 4 podcasters beforehand, what we were going to limit that down to. So I would have had Amy Adams win, you know, for American Hustle, but...
had it not been a democracy.
Yes. But Kate Blanchett, sure, okay. That's all I got to say on that.
And we can actually say, at the moment, it is a unanimous decision of Sandra Bullock from our audience. So I think at this point, we're going to say it.
We're going to call it. All precincts are reporting. We're going to go ahead and call. Yes, Sandra Bullock is the winner.
That is, at the very least, the Blokebusters winner.
Yes. Back to the podcast. Get back to us if you can, sway us one way or another. All right.
Next one, got Best Actor, and that one was Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
And not having seen it, but hearing everything about it and seeing the trailer, like I'm perfectly willing to go that.
Yeah, absolutely.
With the exception of the fact.
Yes, I know what you're going to say.
That Leo should have won.
He just has the shittiest timing ever. Like, if Dallas Buyers Club had come out a year before or a year later, Leonardo DiCaprio has himself an Oscar.
Yeah.
And that is just a fact. Because he knocked it out of the fucking park, the Quaalude scene, and just like everything we talked about in Wolf of Wall Street, how dynamic he was. But you cannot top. And I know people, the naysayers are like, oh, it's just because of the weight loss. That's a part of it. Like, that takes a huge amount of discipline just before the cameras start rolling.
Yeah.
To get yourself in that condition. Dangerously in that condition, I might add.
Well,
putting your health at risk.
There are actors out there that have severely ruined parts of their body for gaining and losing weight for roles.
Not to get too somber, it killed Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
His devotion to the craft killed him. To put in that performance as the Joker, that just, terrorized him. But, so yes, the weight loss was a big aspect of it, but you watch that film and you watch his performance, and you watch this good old boy come around to, like, actually respecting and having love for this transvestite who, if it was out with a bar with his buddies, they'd beat the shit out of that person.
Yeah.
Whatever, for being different, or for being, But you just see that performance, it's, absolutely... Sorry, Leo. But I don't feel too bad for him. Yeah, one way or another, he's going to get an honorary Oscar or he's going to get one. It's going to happen.
He's going to be 60, winning his first Oscar, and it's going to be supporting actor. It's going to be one of those things.
It's going to be like Scorsese for Best Director.
Yeah.
But he lost Best Director like 10 times before he won. What was it? Departed? I think Departed was...
Wait, didn't Scorsese win like the Lifetime Award before he ever
Before
got
that might be right. Yeah, but he had like Raging Bull. He should have won all the way back in 1980 for Best Director. No, don't know who won, but I don't know. It's probably like Nichols for the network or something. I don't know, but just like that, perennially screwed over, and then finally got it for The Departed. I think that was a film, but Leo will get one in there.
Yeah,
he will get one in there when everyone else sucks, or when it'll be just like last year, where there were other great performances, but Daniel Day's was so high above everyone else's.
Yeah,
there's just like it was just a fight for second place. There will be a year like that for him.
that's. I would even say for Great Gatsby, I would argue that Leo is deserving of an Oscar of some sort as well.
See, I think it's hard for voters to get the idea. Like, the success of the film, I think, is highly tied into...
Probably,
into nominations.
Yeah, I seem to be one of the people that I never look at a film seeing how well it did or didn't do and then base it on that. I only ever base films based on when I sit down, watch it, and my reaction to it, which doesn't seem to happen to a lot of people, because a lot of people, like Hulk, for instance, I don't think there's anything too bad about it other than it wasn't that great a film. But then everyone starts to really shit on it just because. I don't know, but when it comes to Leo, yeah, great performance, that's great performance, that's great performance. Just give him the bloody Oscar. Okay. So, next one we got director, and that one was Mr. Alfonso. Can't pronounce his last name.
Cuarón.
So, there we go.
Yeah. Not the book that One Religion reads, but close.
Yeah, very close.
Cuarón. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's one of the rare years where usually director and picture are paired up.
Yeah.
But it is weird to have a split. But
I'm glad there was.
But I have to say I had gone to bed before this. I just couldn't hang. But if I had been awake, that's should be a clue to anyone that's Gravity will not be winning Best Picture. Right. That is the bone that they are throwing the Best Picture.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you get Best Director. So you're not getting back up here in 2 minutes.
That says to me that it was probably really close.
Yeah.
Then, in the whatever the committee is that votes on it, I get the feeling that they were going back and forth between Gravity and 12 Years a Slave, and obviously at this point we may as well just say Best Picture was 12 Years a Slave. And even though neither of us has seen it, I will maintain I'm sure it's a good film. Don't get me wrong.
I'm sure it's a great film.
There's no way it would have been even nominated if it wasn't a good film. Maybe. But but I do feel, and I know that this is going to be borderline, like, racist, something, I don't know. I do feel that this was a political move.
It is. Everything about it is designed to win Best Picture.
Yeah.
That, like you said, taking nothing away from it's a true story, so taking away nothing and no disrespect, and like I said, I'm sure it's an amazing film, but it is the film that the Academy seems to be drawn to. Those important political films. Lincoln, granted I was on board, for that.
Yeah,
it just seems like, those movies that really have kind of a somber message or a very, very serious tone to them.
Yeah.
Are always apt to win over a spectacle or over, well, let's just forget comedy. The Academy hates comedy.
Yeah.
But, or just a standard drama. With real life situation or normalcy, in the normal world. Yeah,
it's one of those things where I do feel that the Academy will always attempt to give the Oscar to a film that has like the strongest message it's trying to convey, and you never know exactly what might sway it. So it was not a shock to me at all, and I would have put money on it that 12 Years a Slave was going to win, even though, based on the films I have seen, I feel that Gravity should have won.
I feel like it should have been Gravity first, American Hustle second, 12 Years a Slave third, if we're ranking.
Right.
Like I said, I will see 12 Years a Slave, and I don't believe it's going to top Gravity in my mind as far as best movie. Best movie, not just, message.
Yeah, best everything
best
together.
Movie. Like, what's happening, how it looks, the acting, all that. Then I'll gladly say, okay, 12 Years a Slave is a better movie. Yeah, I have no problem saying that to everyone that's not listening.
It's really telling as well. Like, if you look at it, Gravity won for Best Visual Effect, Editing, Cinematography, Sound Editing and Mixing, and Score, and Best Director. How did it not win Best Picture?
Exactly.
And Dallas Buyers Club got Best Actor and Supporting Actor. What?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
So 12 Years a Slave just had they had screenplay and supporting actress.
Yeah, best adapted screenplay and supporting actress.
Yeah, and then Best Picture.
And Best Picture. Yeah, and looking at that list, it does seem like that the Academy is trying to give a message out of like, yeah, we think this is the best film, but what about everything else? No, we think this is the best film, right?
Yeah.
It
I said it was the right film to win this year, and it's like I was telling Paul beforehand that there's nothing that says the Oscars have to be the end all be all of your, just because this is the highest award in their business.
Yeah,
doesn't mean you have to call that the best movie.
Yeah. This is the feeling of this committee in Hollywood this year.
Mm-hmm. Of 12 grumpy old men.
I'd love to see. I know that this would never happen, but I'd love to see the Academy Committee of whatever year it is redo the Oscars of 10 years ago and see what they would have voted for. Just so you can see, like, okay, so this was Hollywood then, and 10 years later, actually, no, we think this film might have won.
So Fight Club could win instead of American Beauty? Yes, I would love that.
One of those things that I think it would really show the landscape of the time. But again, the chances of anything like that happening are nil.
Less than nothing. If that's mathematically possible.
Well, technically it is mathematically possible, but we're not going to go into that.
No.
Alright, well, I think that's as far as we can really go for this, because unfortunately we haven't seen all of the films. I know that there are some people that do that, but unfortunately we have lives that mean that we cannot do that.
We do. This is not our day job, unfortunately.
No, yes. Much as we would like it to, the pay isn't quite up to par.
No, we're working our way towards Leonard Maltin status, but we have a long road to go. And a short time to get there.
Well, you can join us next time when we're going to be talking about Harold Ramis, the unfortunate departure of Harold
and also
Ramis.
Celebrating
celebrate his life and film and everything. We get to clap at the death. But if you feel like getting a hold of us, you can do it on Twitter at Blokebusters, on Facebook.com/Blokebusters, on our website blokebusters.webs.com, or by email at blokebusterpodcast@gmail.com. And that's all one word, except for the .gmail.com. Obviously, that is dot and then gmail.com.
What? Okay.
All right. Well, thanks very much, folks.
All right. Bye-bye.